Hi, this is Tina with Sit Happens Dog Training and Behavior and the Potcake Project, and today I wanted to talk about an itty bitty thing that if you change it, generally for families it gives them a lot of relief and makes them enjoy their dog more. So we all know, like fire drills, right? We have a plan for what to do when stuff happens, because then that kind of becomes muscle memory, that kind of becomes a norm, and then there's not panic, mayhem, and foolishness, at least in theory. So we can apply this exact same thing, by the way, to like investing for our retirement or paying off our debt or whatever. We can break any problem into little itty bitty pieces, enjoy that whole crazy, and be successful. We can exact a different outcome than what would happen if we just kind of like free-formed it. Well, for whatever reason, we don't apply that to our dogs. We sometimes don't apply it to our kids either. So stuff just kind of happens, and we learn to live with it, and maybe just a little bit, carry a little bit of resentment about how things go, either with our spouse or with the dog or with the kid. So what I encourage families to do is like come up with a list of how Fluffy deviates from ideal, right? If there was a perfect Fluffy, what would that be like? And then what situations kind of happen regularly that deviate from that? And then pick your like top 2 or 3 at a time and go, okay, if our top 3 issues is Fluffy jumps up and Fluffy sneaks out the door and Fluffy does not come when called. Well, jumping up is a pain in the butt, and I definitely work on it, but sneaking out the door and not coming when called, those are bigger issues. So practice it. You know, when you go to feed Fluffy dinner, hold out a quarter of a cup of Fluffy's food and do 10 repetitions of this is how we politely go through the door. And then 10 repetitions of coming when called in a safe fenced area or on a leash. And then 10 repetitions of going through the door again on the way back in. In a week's time, like Fluffy gets a PhD in how to politely go through the door and come when called, and your relationship with Fluffy improves. One parent, one member of the household typically does the heavy lifting, and then we add everybody else in. So an easy way to do that is, if it matters to you, you're in charge of fixing it in a positive, calm, and gentle way that's fair for you and the dog. Well, what happens is family ends up going, no, Fluffy's the perfect dog. Fluffy has been magnificent the last 2 years, and we don't need you anymore, lamb lady. Those are words that make my heart sing. I love it when families figure out like, oh, we could just teach the dog what we want him to do instead of fussing when they get it wrong. So your homework assignment, should you choose to accept it, is to make a short list of how Fluffy deviates from ideal, and then figure out systematically what would we want to have happen in a perfect world, and then teach that to Fluffy. Now, if you struggle and you're like, well, we have this list but we don't know how to fix it, feel free to private message me, email me, tina@sithappens.us, or even respond to this video, and I'll be happy to jump in and walk you through the process. So this is Tina with Sit Happens Dog Training and Behavior and the Potcake Project, and just a quick tip on how to make living with your life easier. Before I go, a quick shout out to Tristan and Presley. I heard through the grapevine that they are being the best doggy detectives ever with Coda, and that they're totally figuring out how to be calm, gentle, and fair on both sides of the collar, and that they're totally figuring out how to help Coda be more confident in their interactions together. So great job, guys. You're famous. Again, if you like the videos, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, share the videos. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye-bye.